Hey there, Anthony P. Becerra here, and welcome to the Tools and Applications video. So there are going to be some tools that are free, and there are going to be some tools that are not so free. But, you know, all in all, as far as startups go, as far as bootstrapping entrepreneurism goes, the total cost to get going in affiliate marketing is remarkably low. It's remarkably low in terms of investment compared to pretty much every single other business out there. And it's important to keep that in mind. Also, it's important to keep in mind that this isn't a coin flip or a roll of the dice. If you apply yourself to these tools correctly, you will be rewarded in the end by getting paid. So consider how these tools are essential for you to be able to build up your brand, build up your affiliate marketing business, scale your business, and ultimately end up earning thousands of dollars a day. Now, once you get to that point, and it's totally possible you're making thousands of dollars a day. That's the whole reason why we're doing this. That once you get to that point, these tools are no longer an expense. They're all covered, right? So to start off, you're going to have to invest in a few things. And much like I was telling you in the orientation video, how one of your biggest hurdles will just be plucking up the courage to put yourself in front of the camera. Now, the second part isn't mental, it's financial. Will you be able to cover these hard costs? If so, then your success is, it's already a foregone conclusion. Seriously, your mind is right. You got your finances in order, which you'll find are super minimal. And in the end, that means you're ready to take my program or some program out there and build your own affiliate marketing business. And in my courses, I'm actually going to be taking you through these tools and applications one by one and walking you through how to go about using them and getting things done right the first time around. And in fact, I'll actually be creating a fake account for all of the applications I'm going to be presenting to you right now and starting from scratch and building a brand new affiliate marketing business. And that's actually a big deal. All of these, $1,500 courses and programs out there, they brush over the details and avoid showing you in step-by-step fashion exactly what you need to do this right. And you can't blame them. At the end of the day, these gurus are millionaires, and everything's already set in motion for them. They gloss over a lot of the details, which I'm not going to be pussyfooting around with you guys. With my program, you're going to be getting it all and see exactly what you need to do to get the ball rolling, right? But for now, let's just scroll through these tools and applications real quick, and I'll throw some numbers at you so you can have an honest look at your life and your finances and decide if this is something that you want to do. All right, so let's get going. So first and foremost, you're going to need a computer, obviously. Okay, now it doesn't have to be a PC. It could be a laptop. It could be a Mac. It doesn't really matter. You're also going to be needing a webcam and a microphone. Now, a lot of these laptops, they already come with a webcam already inside of it, so you don't really need to stress about having an external webcam too much, although it all comes down to quality. So the better your webcam, the better it's going to be ultimately for the viewer, but remember, you can always upgrade later on if you want to. It's not that big a deal. So if you start off with a subpar laptop, a subpar webcam, a subpar audio, you're going to be okay, especially for your first couple of videos and until you start bringing in some money. But it's not that uncommon to see that out there, by the way. When you look up a product, you're actually looking up a product whose likes button's been smashed a million times or hundreds of times, and the video has been seen a few thousand times or whatever. Now, when these products are first introduced to YouTube, it's really a bit like the Wild Wild West, and everybody and their grandmother is out there uploading a video. Okay, so they're getting paid for it too. So just keep that in mind. So if you have a bad looking laptop, as long as it does have a webcam and of course the pretty much all do these days. And if it does have a place where you can put a microphone, you could plug that in. Or really, if you just have a quiet room, you could use the inbuilt microphone on the laptop. Then that's a great start. You can always use the money that you earn from this to upgrade your equipment later on. So as far as laptops are concerned, you don't need anything really high end. And I'll tell you, the main thing that you're worried about here is the amount of RAM that the computer has, right? So what a good laptop looks like is one with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I'm here to tell you that, I've worked on ones that have 4, and currently I'm working on one that has 8. It doesn't need to be a really high spec laptop. The RAM is mainly just for the software that we're going to be using to record our screens. But with less RAM comes less storage, and less storage space will limit the number of videos you have to download and upload in the same space at a time. And I get away with it because I'm always uploading my videos into the cloud as soon as I record them. And by the cloud, I'm referring to my Internext, which is my hard drive in the sky. I'm also referring to my cloud-based editing platforms that I just happen to subscribe to. And I don't need them, but I like having them as backup. And, one of them, just so you know, is called Movely, and the other one's called Hippo Video. And they're both pretty good. So in the end, what I'm trying to tell you is that your laptop doesn't need to break the bank. not for our purposes at least. And I think I have a slide actually of the laptop I'm using. Yep, perfect. So this is it. Just wanted to show you. This is exactly what I'm using right now. I shimmied on over to Target and I dropped $700 and some change on this laptop, and it works just fine for me. I've had more expensive laptops than this. Ones with more RAM, ones that process a lot. I used to be into day trading, so I needed a super fast laptop. But for our purposes, this laptop is perfect. And in fact, like I said, you can drop it down to 4 RAM. You can get something like this for half the price, and that's gonna be just fine. All right. So moving on. The next thing we're going to need is a webcam. This is actually the one I'm using now. And like I said earlier, like if you can't afford a webcam, don't worry about it. But if you can, the one I'm using right now, I highly recommend it. It's the Logitech C920E business webcam. And this is by far one of the best, most cost-efficient webcams on the market that will certainly do the trick. And I believe I actually paid less for mine. Target has some kind of sale. But either way, my advice is to, never pay for a webcam that's under $30 and don't pay for one that's over 130. At least, you don't really need it. So the next thing you're going to be needing is a microphone. And again, this is what I'm using. This is the one I bought at my local Target. I believe over $100 was the price for mine. But, if I were to take this price right now, let's say it's $100 in Target, they price match over there. So if I were to take this price right now, show it up on my phone, shimmy on over to the electronics section, and the staff would be forced to actually drop the price for me. So that's something to consider. When you're buying all these things, order online or pick a place that price matches, and just go in and prepared and get the best deal. Now, when it comes to microphones, I've never seen a terribly bad one. This one, quite frankly, is considered maybe lower rung, but it does the job, right? And that's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. So shop one that looks nice to you and is a USB microphone. That's all it needs to be, a USB microphone, obviously, because it needs to be able to plug into your laptop, right? And that brings me, actually segues perfectly to your next tool. And I wasn't going to add this. It's so minor, but it's important to mention. So with the mouse, the camera, the microphone, and even possibly an external keyboard, if you're using a laptop, if you're using a laptop like myself and prefer a second keyboard, all these things eventually run out of USB ports. All right. So that's the inputs to plug into. So you need to get a USB bank or a USB hub, whichever two, they get changed out interchangeably. But it's a small thing, but it's worth mentioning. And I purchased mine at the dollar store for just $1 and some change. This one's priced online at $7.99. But you can get yourself one of these bad boys at your local dollar store. So check your local dollar store on the drive to Target and consider these tools for this entire initiative complete, right? That's everything for the hardware that you're going to be needing. And just to recap, that's a laptop, that's the microphone, the Logitech webcam, that's the US bank or hub, that's the possibly maybe the external keyboard. But those are your hardware startup costs, okay? All right, so moving on. That concludes the hardware. Let's get into the software. OBS Studio. It's completely free. You simply go and download the installer, and you could be recording your screen, your audio, and you can have a little box with you in the corner during your recording, like you can see in this slide. I personally, that's not me, by the way. I found that online. I personally don't use OBS, even though I know how. And, for my courses, I'll stick to using OBS Studio to remain cost efficient for those who are on a budget. And quite frankly, I should be using OBS Studio. I'm told by my peers that it's by far the best screen recording software that they've been using, and it's available on the market to everybody. It's free. So I'm going to be making that switch from Movely, from Hippo, from what is the other one? UBS Recorder. There's so many out there, guys. But OBS Studio is what I plan on to use in my courses, just to remain cost efficient and sensitive to dose on a very low budget. All right. Now the next one up is Canva. Canva is going to be super nifty in making your videos. So you're going to be using a software like OBS, but you're also going to be needing to add things like a YouTube thumbnail and words that slide in and graphics and so forth. All of that more or less comes with a subscription to some cloud-based recording or editing application, right? Such as Movely or even Hippo, I believe, has some neat little graphics and tricks in there. But you really do lose control over the overall branding and outcome of your videos. You're relying on their add-ons rather than being able to create your own add-ons and embellish your own videos the way you want to embellish them. And this is going to cost you. The free one doesn't cut it. Why? Because it literally doesn't cut it. If you wanted to remove yourself from your current surroundings and create a background suitable for your YouTube thumbnail, then you're going to want to use something like Canva or Trello to cut yourself out. And let me just show you real quick. Let me hop right here out of this. So if I wanted, I'm using Canva right now for this presentation. So if I wanted to take this picture, I go effects and I press background remove. It's going to show me just maybe the letters in that circle right there. Right? Cool. And it does that. Now, if I wanted to see the letters, I just put a coloring. See the purple there? Make it smaller. You can get the coloring behind anything you want. And that's how you could brand yourself too. You could put your, and that's how you would do it with your photo of yourself. Let me see if I have a photo of myself here. Well, I don't need a photo of myself. Let's just grab this lady. Move this. And you know what? Just to make sure, I don't know if this matters to be honest, but just to make sure that the cut's done right, let's actually make her less blurry because it looked a little blurry. We're gonna zoom in a little bit more. Now we're gonna do this exact same thing. Go here, go to effects. And you're going to want to do this all day long to like the words that you're going to slide in, the word to yourself. This is how they have those goofy pictures of themselves pointing at, the name of the review and looking shocked, which I hate, by the way. I don't think I'm ever going to do that. There you go. See, simple as that. And then you just put the product here and her looking at the product and, bada bing, bada boom, maybe the name of the bonus, which we'll get into later in my courses. There's a lot of things you're going to want to put on here to make it look appealing. Nothing that you can't just figure out right now by going on YouTube though. But if they're not having like a bonus here, some neat design, some appealing looking, color scheme, it does matter. It all matters in the end, obviously. Anyways, back to the presentation. All right, so in the end, yes, I recommend Canva. Trello is another one, but it's not exactly where it needs to be in terms of features and ease of use. The two are very similar. I actually have a subscription to Trello, but sorry, Trello and all the comparables out there. As of today, August 11, 2021, Canva still is king. And one thing that you might want to consider with Canva is partnering with maybe 5 people to split the costs because let's move this over here. Can I move this? I can't. So I'm using back out. All right, so let's get the cost showing right there in the middle. There we go. Presentation. All right, so one thing you want to consider is the cost, obviously, but splitting the cost with 5 different people because each account can have 5 different users. So $120 or so divided by 5, or it is $120 divided by 5, and you're looking at nearly $25 each, and not $120 just out of your pocket, like I'm doing. Like I never partnered with anybody, but if you're on a budget, this is an awesome idea, right? I kind of just give my 4 accounts away. So I should probably stop doing that and be more business savvy. And you know what? I just had an awesome idea right now. I own an online digital product store called Grandamular, right? And I just started selling user accounts to certain applications that I have. One of them, I think as a member, what I want to do is you should be able to post your account openings to fellow members and split the cost on all of these tools, right? So that's an awesome idea. I think I plan on making that a reality. So I should definitely be allowing you to post your Canva openings, right, on my grandamular.com website. So, okay, I'm going to be doing that. Definitely going to be doing that. Okay, so moving on to the next item. So YouTube, this is free, and it goes without saying you're going to need this, right? So this is really what's going to be your storefront. Every video is going to be a section of your store where you put on a shelf a particular product and you sell it to someone who already wants it because they're there looking at you trying to sell it to them, right? So plan on showing you how to brand and optimize every inch of your YouTube channel in order to get the best returns on your time and investment. Now, the next one, you'll need a Warrior Plus account and a JVZoo account. I guess they shouldn't both be on 2 separate pages. But either way, these two platforms are free, and they don't really need to be on separate slides for this presentation because they both exist to pay you out on product launches. That's what they do. They pay you out on product launches. So make sure you have these two platforms set up correctly because, you want to get paid, right? Okay. And now the Muncheye one. The Muncheye one, as you already know, Muncheye is where you find the products to promote. ClickBank is another popular platform where you can find products to promote. And there's one called Max Bounty that I've recently heard of, and I think it's actually pretty awesome. I'm going to look more into that and probably show the students. After I make my course, I'll do some extra courses, and give it away to free everybody in my course and show them how Max Bounty works. But I hear that's a very popular one, and I've seen it in action. It looks pretty good. For my course, I'll mostly be utilizing Muncheye, which is free, or I should say it's free because there's no upfront cost, but there is a tiny little bit shaved off the top of every transaction, but it's a small amount. I don't even know what it is, to tell you the truth, but I'll have to get that info for my students, obviously. So I'll be reporting back to you on that in the program, but it's so small that it's insignificant. I don't even know what it is, right? So the next one is Commission Gorilla. So, okay, now Commission Gorilla is really important because it's the software that allows you to create what's called bonus pages, which is going to be your incentive pages. That's going to help you get sales inside of your Warrior Plus and your JVZoo accounts. It's incentivizing traffic. A person that is, reviewing something without a bonus compared to one that is, that person's going to make the sale. It gives them a little extra incentive. Saves them money. And, I have written down in front of me here the pricing for Commission Gorilla as of today, August 11th, 2021. So it reads, Commission Gorilla price packages. There are two pricing options available, and the users can use it There are two pricing options available, and the users can use it for both a year or a lifetime. Obviously, you're probably going to want the lifetime one. So I hate when they do that stuff. So the packages are, you could pay an annual subscription of $49 or a lifetime subscription for $69. Geez, I wonder which one I'm going to get. So next one up, the autoresponders. Okay, so the next piece of equipment that you're going to need is the autoresponder. Simply put, an autoresponder is going to enable you to send out hundreds, if not thousands, of tens of thousands of emails all at once in sequence. So more on that in the course. So the next one up is Facebook. You're going to need a Facebook account. Like I mentioned earlier, and like I've gone over in orientation, in this business, it's essential that you brand yourself. Okay, so 2 more slides and then we're done here. Okay, so I added this application because having a calendar, and I use a Google Calendar, is going to prove to save you a lot of headache. It's going to save you a lot of confusion, guys. When you start getting into the habit of making your reviews, you're going to want to be as orderly as possible about it. And apart from that, your order is going to have a schedule of dates and times for the product launches you're going to be promoting. If you're doing 2 or 3 launches a day, this calendar can be filled up quite fast. And trust me, you don't want to rely on your memory when you need to collect the product info, the affiliate link, your links to the product pages and so forth, all this stuff. There's a bit of weekly prep work involved, and you're going to learn all about that in the course. And the last tool is going to be EverWebinar. Now, EverWebinar is what you have to look forward to when you get into selling other people's high ticket courses or products, right? So as many of you have seen before on YouTube, you'll be watching something, you'll be hit by YouTube ad, and in that ad or that promotional video, that person's going to be selling you on the idea that they can help you achieve some level of success if you purchase their course. But they don't sell you right away on the course. They invite you to a webinar. Now that webinar is supposedly happening in 5 minutes. Or an hour from now, or you pick the time. In some cases, they'll give you they'll give you a calendar and you pick the time, and they'll ask for your phone number, and they'll give you a heads up. Hey, 10 minutes from now, don't forget my webinar, right? But that webinar is actually pre-recorded. It's on loop, and it's where they sell you their course. And that's where EverWebinar comes into play. But more on that in the courses. And that about wraps it up. It's been fun giving you guys all this free info. I really do plan to add more free info in the coming months and years to come. But just so you know, it's not going to be coming with all the, the hacks, the tricks, the workarounds, the step-by-step, meticulously done step-by-step guidance that you will get with a program. So I guess the question, if you really are interested in doing any of this, is do you want to go with my $100 program or do you want to go with the competition's $1,500 program plus their crap load of upsells and hidden costs? And I'll let you decide that for yourself. All right. Thank you so much for your time. You have an awesome day.